Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? Yes. Co-creating at its best. You see, you have dragged your physical bodies here. Are you appreciating the environment in which you live? With all of its variety? Are you appreciating the contrast of your own experience? Yes. Well, we want you to. We want you to feel the perfection of the contrast, even the part of the contrast that you don't want, even the part of the contrast that makes you think you must be doing something wrong or you would not be living it. We want you, and maybe even by the end of this gathering today, to come to understand the perfection, the value to you, the value to all of us, in the contrast that causes focus. Because out of contrast is born the clarity of desire. Without a question, there cannot be an answer. And really, you don't want to hear this, but a problem produces a solution that puts you in a better place than you were before the problem occurred, because you are expanding, expansive beings who must move forward in order to stay in vibrational harmony with who you really are. So it's not possible for you to stand still, but it is possible for you to get sort of screwy in your thinking and hold yourself in a state of practiced resistance so that you just don't go with the flow of your own expansion and your own evolution. You get these ideas, and that's all right, of who you are and where you want to be and who you want to be with and how you want it to be, what you want it to be like, how you want it to feel. And that's all part of molding your life into being. That's why you're here. You are creative genius. You are creator. You are creator of your experience. But sometimes when your idea of what you want has been born out of insecurity, or is born out of not knowing who you are, born out of believing that you are not enough, born out of wanting to fill some void in order to make it better for you so that you can appear better to the world or feel better. In other words, when you're in this vibrational state where you're not loving yourself, and that it's easy to get there because so many others aren't loving you because they don't have time. They don't have time to deal with everything that you are and come to a loving conclusion. Sometimes they just have a knee-jerk reaction, and when you're a jerk, they are a jerk too. In other words, when you are not going with the flow of your own energy stream, you are hard to take. And those around you don't take you that well. And then you come to a gathering like this, where in some of the titles of things that you've been written, you come to understand that here, with Abraham, we're going to talk about unconditional love. And you think, yeah, you should love me unconditionally. It was in our getting together vows, no matter how bad I am, no matter how bad I am, you will love me and stay with me forever. And we say, we want you to understand that it's the relationship between you and who you really are that is of paramount importance. That's the relationship that we want you to figure out, maybe even today, how to tend to. And when you do that, now you don't have this freaky resistance in your vibration. And now the basis of your attraction is not one of trying to make things better because of what you manipulate or demand into place. Now you begin to understand that law of attraction is responding to your point of attraction. What you are putting out vibrationally really matters. There is nothing that matters more than your mood or your attitude, because that is a reflection of what you've got going on vibrationally. But so often, your mood or attitude is influenced by things that you see in your community or in your home or in your relationship or in your own body or in your world, in your world of politics, or in your world of economics, or in your world of whatever. So as you become, and most of you have, to some degree or another, a responder to conditions over which you have no control, now you put yourself in the category of having no control of your vibrational offering, which means no control of your point of attraction, which means now you're in the place where you're trying to manipulate, you're trying to talk people into things, you're trying to convince people that they should see it your way. And it is exhausting. Have you noticed? Have you noticed how many of them who you really want to get you don't? And have you noticed how much time you spend explaining your perfectly correct point of view to others who should be smart enough to understand the correctness of your point of view, but somehow just don't? They either seem too lazy to you or incapable of understanding where you're coming from. And what we would like so much to free you from is the impossible task of controlling the conditions of your environment so that you can have a good feeling response to those conditions. We would like to show you how, with far less effort than you think, far less focus than you have really applied to anything, you can bring yourself into vibrational alliance, vibrational co-creativeness, vibrational harmony, vibrational beingness with the whole of who you are. And until you do that, there's not one other person on the planet who's going to stand in a strong enough, steady enough, giving you attention enough place to make up for that void that you are creating by your misunderstanding of who you are. We're giving it to you strong and straight because we know who you are. We know that you are source energy in physical bodies. We know that you are extensions of source energy. But you don't act like you know that because you want other people to validate you in some way in order to give you that feeling of belonging or in order to give you that feeling of completion. And we want you to know that as long as you're looking to another, to a situation, to a condition, to a person, as long as you're looking to anything else to make you whole, you'll never get there because you're looking for love in all the wrong places. You're looking for alignment in all the wrong places. So I want to give you something. If you've been listening to us for a while, have you? Then you've already heard us say, because we say it endlessly, that you were source energy before you came into this body and still are. And that there is a larger part of you that you would describe as consciousness. Some call it soul. But it's the consciousness, the continuing consciousness that is you, that remains non-physically focused even though you are here in this physical body. So there is a part of you that understands everything that you are living, even if you are focused upon some contrast that is keeping you from understanding it in this moment. In other words, sometimes something will happen in your experience, and you say things to yourself, especially if you've been hanging around with us for a while, that goes something like, oh, I am not doing a very good job of creating in my own reality. Or, oh, I should know better than this. Or, I should have been doing more processes. Or, I should have been able to hold myself in a better point of attraction. Or, oh, I haven't been paying attention to my guidance system. Or, oh, I didn't catch it in the early enough stages and I didn't head it off before the momentum of what I don't want got carried away. In other words, you're rather self-critical in your wanting to hold yourself into this deliberate creative process. And all along, while you are doing that, that inner being, that who you really are, that source within you is knowing that this piece of contrast that you hate is the very thing that you ask for on a vibrational level in order to bring clarity to you that you want more than life itself. So you're beating up on yourself for not living the perfect life at all times because, after all, you want to live the perfect life and you want everyone who's looking at you to acknowledge that you're living the perfect life. When the perfect life is moving through contrast, the perfect life is exploring, the perfect life is coming to greater clarity about what you want. The perfect life is knowing what you don't want, which causes you to know what you do want. And then gradually and gently, in an attitude of loving yourself into alignment, bringing yourself into alignment with the constant new things that are showing up for you to consider. You are ravenous in your desire for expansion. You are ravenous in your wanting to be present in the moment, in alignment with all that you are. You so have an appetite for alignment so that in any moment in time you can take in fully all of the manifestation in this moment that you have come to culmination about. There are manifestations around you. The car in your garage is a manifestation. And some of you like that manifestation, and some of you are embarrassed by that manifestation. But we want you to understand it's not just the things that are manifestations. Manifestations meaning evidence of ongoing vibration. We want you to understand that the emotion that you feel in any moment in time is the first, foremost, most important, most sought after, most important, biggest, most important. The most important manifestation of your lifetime is the emotion that you feel in any moment in time. Because that is a manifestation. Now let's say it so that you can hear it. It's a manifestation indication. It's a manifestation indication. Let's say it even better, even more clear, even more accurate. It's a temporary manifestation evidence indication of what you've got going on vibrationally right now. It's not an indictment of who you are. It's not a punishment for who you have been. It's an indication of the mix of vibration that you got going on. And you got to understand, your life has caused you to ask for all kinds of things that you may or may not be up to speed with right now. And your emotions indicate how much you're asking and how in alignment you are with what you're asking. How wonderful is that? So when you feel blame or anger or guilt or grief, when you feel any of those negative emotions that make you say, I need to get better at this, I need to get a grip, I need to get hold of my life, I need to change some conditions so that I will feel better, we want to say to you, we want you to appreciate that manifestation, just like we want you to appreciate your gas gauge when it tells you that you're out of gas or that you're getting close to it, so that you can go do something about the replenishment process. Your emotions are your indicator of where you stand in relationship with who you really are and what your magnificent life has caused you to expand to, and what your thoughts, your words in this moment are helping you to allow or disallow relative to that. You get what we're talking about, don't you? So what we really want to say to you as we begin here is, if you can leave this gathering with one strong, solid, personal determination, sort of like a new moment's resolution. Don't wait for the new year. It's far away. And this one already got here and you already screwed it up. That new moment's resolution that goes like this. I'm doing really well. I'm right exactly where I want to be in order to experience the most that this life has to give me. You are never in the wrong place, but sometimes you're in the right place looking at things in the wrong way. And every time you're mad at yourself, you're looking at it in the wrong way. Every time you're mad at somebody else, you're doing that too. Every time you're condemning yourself or anyone else, anytime you're not in a state of appreciation, you're disallowing most of who you are in that moment in time.